Hello and welcome everybody. We're back here for round 2. Match 1, we won against Red White Burns. If you want to see that and a more in-depth deck tech, that will be in the first video. But for this video, we're going to be playing the list you see on screen here, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight into the league. I'm ready to play some matches. Alright, good to go here. Let's see what we're paired against. This hand's really great if it finds bounce land, but even if it doesn't, we got a Stirrings and an Explorer to try to get there. This hand's great. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I'm not sure whether we go turn 1 Amulet or turn 1 Grazer, to be honest. Although, if our opponent plays a discard spell, which it looks like they won't. Oh no, not a Utopia Sprawl. This is terrible news. What'd they name? Red. Okay, so we're potentially playing a Blood Moon here. Not good news at all. I think in that case I want to lead on the Amulet, just so that we can start getting some acceleration with this, like Explore and whatnot. I'm kind of expecting a Blood Moon here, so yeah. I think that's going to be the play. I mean, I guess we could Grazer and get a Talari West into play. And then next turn we can tap the Talari West to play Amulet and play Garrison and still be able to Explore. And that's even if they have a Blood Moon. That might be better, actually. I'm going to try that. I don't know if there's any particular upside to doing it one way or another, but we'll put in the T-West. So, the argument for putting in the T-West over the Garrison here is because we won't have to pick up a land if they do play a Blood Moon effect. We'll be able to just play the Garrison and not have to return anything. So that's why I put the Talari West into play. Seasoned Pyromancer. Vesuva. I mean, this can make a forest, so that's not terrible. We'll play the Amulet. I could play Garrison and float a mana here in the hopes that I draw something on 1 or even like another Explorer. I don't know how I feel about that. Because otherwise the white mana is not going to be useful and we'll have to bounce a land regardless. I mean, we're going to have to bounce land at the end of this turn anyways, since we're going to go Vesuva into Garrison after we cast the Explorer if we were to do it in that way. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Garrison. I think there's just a slight upside here if we happen to spike another Explorer or something off the top. So, and we'll pick up the Talari West, I think. We want to have as many basics in play as possible, so there is another Explorer. So that worked out decently well for us. I guess we're just copying our forest. The reason I say that in a way that doesn't sound particularly excited is that we still don't really... Oh, well, now we have Titan mana. I was going to say we still don't really have Titan mana, but this Garenberg represents Titan mana. I'm going to play, I guess, the Talari West, because the Castle Garenberg is going to enter untapped anyways. So, yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, I guess I could have played the Ancient Stirrings if I played the Garenberg there. That might have been a mistake. Although, if they had a Blood Moon, they probably would have played it already, so I don't know if that's something that I need to worry about here. If they don't have the Blood Moon, we're going to be able to get this game pretty easily, I would think. No Blood Moon. Okay. Yep, well, we are able to get a Valakut here and a Haste Land, leaving the white floating. Yeah, I'm definitely going for it. I'm not playing around something like a Double Bolt or something, which I don't really think they would have. I think a lot of these lists play a couple, like, Stomps, perhaps. So, I'm definitely just attacking here. Yep. And since I have the 1 Amulet, I'm going to go ahead and yield to it. I'm recording a video right now.
You're showing them how to...
Hopefully, yeah. We got a Titan in play. So here, we'll go ahead and try to set up, I guess. We could get 2 growth chambers and pick up the Talari West and immediately cycle for a, I mean, we could get 1 growth chamber and either a Talari West or a Crumbling Vestige or something along those lines and be able to have access to the blue. We also might want to get an extra force to play around something like a Blood Moon and a land destruction effect. I don't know how much of a factor that's going to be. But we can't really do that and transmute Talari West, so they'd have to have a Blood Moon and blow up a green source in order to stop us from playing another Titan, so I'm just going to go for the line that gives us a Summoner's Pact here. So I'm going to get Growth Chamber, and I'll guess just 2 Growth Chambers. That way we'll have a bounce land in hand for a Dryad turn, if that's what we want to do. So we're going to float our mana here. We're going to pick up the... Well, we're not going to float immediately. We're going to pick up the Garrison and the Talari West here. And in second main, then we can go ahead and transmute. So, and we can actually cast an Ancient Stirrings or a Grazer too if we want to. Interesting. So we'll have 2 mana left over if we were to cast a Grazer now. So there's not really much we can do to take advantage of the extra green except for just cast a Stirrings. So I'm gonna Talari West first and then Stirrings so that we don't shuffle any relevant cards or irrelevant cards back into our deck. I don't know. I'm not really giving a whole lot of credence to that just because we have all the relevant cards in play already, so... Vesuva would free us up to search for a non-Vesuva land on this attack trigger if we're going for a line that involves Dryad. We could actually pick up Forest here, though, and that way, if they do have, like, that line where they can kill a land and Blood Moon us, then the Forest plays around it. That might be too conservative, though. I'm just going to take the Vesuva. And we'll pass back. So now we're set up to get another Titan incoming here. Let's see what they've got here. I've said this before, but even if they had a Luca here, we'd still be able to lethal them. Oh, so they are killing our Titan, but I don't think this is good enough. We're just going to play another Titan and haste it. We might be able to double strike it too. We'll have to see. Because we still have 1 Vesuva left in deck, so... Oh, second Amulet definitely seals it for sure. I'll play that. We will Summoner's Pact for a Titan. We're gonna play Titan. Yeah. Okay. Next game. They didn't want to see it. That's okay. I definitely would have played it out, but I don't know that I can say I felt like playing it out. So we want our Force of Vigor for sure. Beast Withins I think are great. Dismembers to play around, a Magus. Tracker perhaps. Yeah, I like Tracker just as an additional threat. Rex Sage for sure. Explosives is good as well. And we have a lot of cards for this matchup, which is ironic considering it's not a very good matchup. We definitely can't get caught with too many Summoner's Pacts in hand at all. Tribe Scouts and Grazers are both great. Explorer's a little slow, but it is good against their land destruction-y type hands. It's not as great against their Blood Moon hands, so I think I'll trim at least 2 Explorers. I don't know how much I like Azusa in this matchup, because I think that it's less about getting a Titan into play fast, and more about being able to keep up with what our opponent is doing. I don't know, though. I could see an argument for Azusa being cut and an argument for keeping it. I don't think we want Bog. I'm still not sure on Azusa. Because if we have an Azusa, that's an avenue to casting a Titan if they don't have a Blood Moon. We can just play a bounce in several times. And that's one of the easiest ways to get to Titan. But if they have a Blood Moon in play, Azusa doesn't do a whole lot unless you already have a handful of lands. Possible I want 1 fewer Amulet, just because bounce lands can be kind of a liability. Let's see what else. I'll trim 1 Stirrings. I'm still not sold on Azusa. I kind of think we need it, though. Maybe 3 Beast Withins is too many. I don't know. A little bit fast for Explore. Like I said, those Blood Moon draws really punish it. I'll trim 1 Grazer as well. Just because the blocking is not that particularly relevant. And 1 more card. I'm not really sure. A second Amulet might be alright, or the 3rd pack even. Nah, I want the Azusa, I think. I'll trim 1 pack. 1 Titan is usually good enough to do it, and if we resolve a natural Titan, then we can search for the Summoners pack for the T-West and get a second one, and that'll probably seal it up, I would think. This hand has all the lands. It's really good against the pillages, but it's not so great on speed. It's really bad against Blood Moon. I think we got a mulligan. This hand seems alright. We're missing quite a number of things. We're missing a Titan, namely. We don't have a bounce land to go with this Azusa, but we do have Garenbrig, so that's kind of alright. I think we got to keep this. And I think we bottom the Amulet here, actually. Because we can go turn 1 Grazer, turn 2 Azusa off of the Forest, Radiant Fountain, and Garenbrig, or even the Crumbling Vestige if we had to. We might end up regretting that if we top deck a bounce land, though. I think with Azusa, having access to a bounce land is going to be very useful. So in that case, I'm going to pitch the Radiant Fountain. This way, if we draw a Titan, we still are just 1 land away from being able to cast it, because we can play Crumbling Vestige for 2 mana, the one that floats in the untap here. And there's our Titan. But now there's the question of, do we want to expose the forest? Because I believe Pillage can hit basic forest, and that would be awful for us. I don't think that we can risk it, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'll make it green. And then we have the age-old question of Amulet or Grazer on 1. I think it's going to be Grazer. Because I'm thinking if we Grazer, we get a guaranteed Azusa, but the problem is we don't have the land drops to make after it. The Azusa, we're not going to be able to play it for value. It would just be the 3-drop, and it'll probably just die to a Stomp or something, so maybe we don't need to worry about it. But you also don't necessarily need to show them we have an Amulet, though, so I'm going to go with the Grazer. And again, we're putting in the Garenbrig because our forest could be very important if they happen to have a Blood Moon effect, so I definitely just don't want to expose this land at all, if I can help it. This way we're looking pretty good if we draw a bounce land. Choke. Okay. Seems like an awful one to bring in, to be honest. Let's see, so if we play Amulet... let's see, if we had played Amulet instead of Grazer... No, we couldn't have done anything about it. We do have a Titan next turn, though. I think the play is to go ahead and put the Amulet out. Or we could do Forest and Azusa, and then if they kill the basic Forest, then we can then cast a Titan the turn after. And not show them the Amulet until the turn we're going to play it. So we can do like tap crest, Crumbling Vestige, play Amulet, and then go off with our Sanctuary and Garenbrig and still have 1 bounce land, or 1 land drop, I mean, to be able to perhaps double strike a Titan or something. I think that's fine. Definitely don't want to expose the bounce land here. I think getting the Azusa into play now is the most mana efficient. We could actually play the Amulet now, but I don't see the point. So, again, they're not really willing to show them that information. Not going to give them the chance to destroy it either, so... Glorybringer. That does kill our Azusa. I think I'm going to go ahead and put my Grazer under the bus, too. It's a little hasty to do that, but whatever. So here's our Amulet. Now we're forced to play out a bounce land. And the one I least want blown up is the growth chamber, so I'm going to keep it in hand. I think it's more valuable of a resource. And here we'll just pick up the crumbling vestige. So, yep. And then that means this upcoming turn we have Titan mana if they don't have anything. Seasoned Pyromancer is totally fine. I think we're just lucky so far that we have dodged a Blood Moon effect. The last card really just needs to be a Lightning Bolt. And even then, unless we just... Even if we were to just top deck our Summoners pack, then we'd have access to another Titan. So I don't think there's anything really we could have drawn there that punishes us. The Snow Cover Force is actually a really great pickup, so... Here's Titan. Now we are going for the haste here. So we'll get our Stronghold and our Garrison. And the land we want to pick up here, I think, is going to be the Garenbrig. That seems fine. And I'm not really afraid of anything here. If they left up a red mana, there might be an argument for trying to play around a Lightning Bolt or something, but I think just getting the lands is going to be impactful enough. So we could get a Growth Chamber and T-West. But then we'd have to play a bounce land next turn to transmute. So if we do that, we'll have 3 to transmute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have Vesuva to copy this and still be able to activate Stronghold. So in that case, we'll still be able to Titan. So I think that's going to be the line. We want to pick up the non-Growth Chamber bounce land here, even though we already have one in hand, so it's not likely to matter, but we'll pick up the Sanctuary. I mean, like I said, this matchup is not great. I think maybe part of the reason is because they brought in Choke. If this Choke had been any other card that would be more relevant, like, this only does something if we have a Dryad in play, and they already have a good matchup. So I don't know why they would bring in Choke. It doesn't seem like the best thing they could do here. Blocking. It's got 4 damage assigned. I think it's free to eat up 1 creature here, because it's going to die to a Stomp anyways. I'm definitely not going to let it trade. So we'll do this. Okay. And we have a Dryad. Oh, okay. Well, we win the match. I think they just knew that whatever we could get here would be lethal. In fact, if we just, like, attack and get the double strike land here, the Sunhome, then we're able to activate Sunhome, and that's 12 already, so they just knew they were dead. Well, that was a fast and simple match against a deck that I usually loathe to face. Not because the games are uninteresting. I actually don't mind the gameplay, but I just know it's such a horrible matchup for Amulet. Like, there are things you can do that help. Playing a couple Tribe Scouts is one of those things. Like, Tribe Scout is invaluable against the red-green decks, so... But yeah, like I said, I will never complain about doing well and sealing away a usually terrible matchup. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, it was kind of just straightforward. So, regardless, if you learned anything or if you just enjoy the content, let me know. Leave me a like, subscribe, comment. I would read the comments if I got any. But yeah, I guess that's it. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.